Hey y'all, Jamie here, proud 55-year-old trans woman from New Orleans. So, where last I left off, I was picked up by a Russian man on Santa Monica Boulevard in a dark green convertible Jaguar in 1989 in West Hollywood and went to his house in the hills. Not something that most girls would advise. Yeah, going into the Hollywood Hills with dates was not something that was often recommended, but it was something that you kind of had to play by ear, especially if they lived up there and wanted you to go to their house, which is what happened in this case. And so I get to his house. There's these huge German Shepherds, two big male German Shepherds that are cornering me in the kitchen. And so I go off and I tell him, get the dogs, get your fucking dogs, dude. And we go into his bedroom. And y'all, he goes to a safe in his closet and he opens it up. And if y'all saw the video yesterday, then you already know there were stacks and stacks and stacks of cash and piles of cocaine, like a brick of cocaine, and then baggies lined up on trays. This was not a little tiny safe. So, and it was on the floor in his closet, and the door was open. Like when we walked in there, the door was already cracked open on it. He just walked over, opened it, peeled off a couple of hundreds. The stacks of cash were all 50s and hundreds. So he peeled me off a few hundred, I think 200 or 300 to start, maybe 200 to start. And he asked me if I wanted to smoke a joint. So I said, okay, sure. And we went out onto his patio, and this guy had a gorgeous home, just gorgeous big home in the hills. And we went out onto his patio off of his master bedroom, and we were looking out over over the city. And we got high, and then he told me that he wanted me to laugh at him. Like, he wanted me to humiliate him and make fun of him and just, in general, just be a bitch, And honestly, in those days especially, that's something I didn't have much of a problem doing. Was kind of a bitch a lot of times. So, yeah, I start degrading him, and I'm laughing at him, and I'm telling him, you stupid bitch, just stupid stuff. And he starts doing some of the cocaine. He offered me the cocaine. And at this particular time when I was in Hollywood, y'all, I was trying to stay away from coke. It's not the last, listen, I did it again in life, so I'm not trying to act like, ooh, I was all good and proper now. No. But I was dry from coke when I was in Hollywood in 1989. So, yeah, I let him do the cocaine and I smoked the weed. And he asked me if he gave me like every 15 to 20 minutes that I was there, I would tell him, darling, I kind of need to get going, because I knew he was hot. And he would say, oh, and he would go to the safe and he would get me another 50 or another 100 or another 150, and he would just give it to me and to keep partying. So I stayed for like a few hours, made like close to $1,000 off this guy. And then I told him I had to go. Like, I had to go, Mary. I had been there a long time. So I made arrangements he wanted to meet me again. Like the following week, he wanted to meet me again. So we made the arrangements. And I'm thinking, okay, well, he's just a submissive date, I didn't really pry into his business the first time about what was going on with all the coke and money and stuff, because I just knew, okay, this dude does not do everything on the up and up with the IRS and things, okay? Like, yeah. So he comes and he picks me up the following week on the day that we agreed to meet on. And he gets me and we go, and he tells me, we smoke a joint in his car while we're driving around. And then he tells me that he wants to try something different. And I was like, okay. I'm the one on the clock, so it's your dime. And yeah, so he wanted to go cruise over on Western, which was a street where a lot of, cis girls worked. That area, Western and Mariposa was where a lot of those girls worked. And it was a lot of Mexican girls mainly. And so, and black girls and stuff, but not too many white girls were out there. So we go driving around and we pick up this little Mexican girl. And I'm like, dude, I don't do anything with girls. Like, I just don't. That's not my thing. And he was like, no, 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 no. That's not what this is about. I just want both of you to be there. And I was like, okay, okay. I've pulled doubles before. No big deal, you know. So we picked this girl up. Now, I want you to keep in mind, he had already given me, on this particular night, he had already given me about $500 just kind of up front to start the evening off. And he paid this girl $75. $75 to bend over his bed while me and him watched and his two dogs took turns with her in front of us. And if y'all want to know what happened next, y'all know the routine. Be here tomorrow and I will too. I love you all. I love you all for watching and I love you for the comments. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.